glad you liked it. Are you planning to use this for a video, speech, or something else? Let me know if you want any tweaks or more hype added. Every single minute the clock moves forward. Tick, another second gone. Tick, another life lost. The world doesn't stop, it doesn't pause, it doesn't wait for anyone. Right now, as you're listening to this, someone somewhere just lost their battle. Maybe it was hunger, maybe it was sickness, maybe it was something that could have been stopped, but it wasn't. 60 seconds, that's all it takes. Think about how fast a minute passes. You blink and it's gone. A minute ago, someone was breathing, dreaming, fighting to stay alive, and now they're just a statistic. And the worst part, it happens again and again and again. But let's step back for a second. Imagine if we could see a live counter in front of us, showing exactly how many people disappear with every passing moment. Would we feel different? Would we care more? Because when numbers are just numbers, it's easy to ignore them. But these aren't just numbers, these are real people. Someone's mother, someone's best friend, someone who had a dream, just like you do. And yet the world moves on. Another minute, another loss. And most people don't even notice. Right now, as you hear this, someone just vanished from this world. Not in a mysterious, unexplained way, but in a way that should have never happened. Every single minute, people disappear. Not because of fate or bad luck, but because of problems we actually have the power to fix. So why is it still happening? Some disappear because of hunger. Not because there isn't enough food in the world, because there is. Tons of food go to waste every single day while people starve in different corners of the planet. It's not a shortage problem. It's a distribution problem. It's an awareness problem. It's a problem of people turning away and saying, it's not my problem. Others disappear because of sickness. It's not because we don't have medicine, but because they couldn't afford it. Because they were born in the wrong place at the wrong time under the wrong circumstances. A simple vaccine, a basic treatment, something as small as clean water could have saved them. But instead, they became part of the growing number of people who are just gone. Then there's war, violence, conflict that turns entire cities into dust and forces innocent families to run with nothing but the clothes on their backs. People who had dreams, people who had a future wiped away in a split second. And for what? Power? Greed? A fight they never asked to be part of? And let's not forget the ones who disappear in silence. The ones struggling with their own battles, feeling like the world doesn't see them, doesn't hear them, doesn't care. Mental health, depression, loneliness. Problems that don't leave visible scars but take people away just the same. Every single minute, another person disappears. Not because they had to, but because the world let it happen. Because systems failed them, because people looked the other way, because the world moves so fast that sometimes we don't even notice who's missing until it's too late. If every minute one person is disappearing, does that mean we're powerless? Does that mean we just stand by and watch as the numbers climb higher and higher? No, absolutely not, because the truth is we can change this. We just have to decide that we will. History has proven that change is possible. The world is filled with stories of people who refused to accept things as they were, people who saw suffering, injustice, and loss and said, not on my watch. They weren't superheroes. They weren't born with special powers. They were just ordinary people who made a decision to care, to act, to do something. So what does change actually look like? Does it mean solving world hunger overnight, ending all wars tomorrow, stopping every disease with a snap of our fingers? Of course not. But change doesn't have to be instant to be powerful. It starts small. It starts with one action, one choice, one person who refuses to accept that this is just how things are. What if instead of losing one person every minute, we saved one? What if every 60 seconds, someone's life got better because of something we did? It could be as simple as giving food to someone who's hungry, donating to a cause that actually helps, speaking up for those who don't have a voice, taking 5 minutes out of your day to check on someone who might be struggling. Small actions multiplied by millions of people create a force stronger than any problem we face. Technology is advancing faster than ever. Medicine is evolving. Communication is instant. We have more resources, more knowledge, more power to create change than any generation before us. And yet, people are still disappearing, not because we can't help them, but because too many people assume someone else will. But what if that someone else was you? What if the reason things haven't changed yet is because you were meant to be part of the solution? Maybe the world is waiting, not for a miracle, but for people to wake up and realize that the power to change things has been in their hands all along. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, you have the power to save a life? Not in some distant future, not in another lifetime, but today, right now. Because while every minute someone disappears, every minute also holds the potential for something incredible. The chance to stop it. The chance to save someone before it's too late. But here's the real question: will you take that challenge? Saving a life doesn't always look like pulling someone out of a burning building or performing some heroic last-second rescue. Sometimes saving a life is something much simpler. It's giving food to someone who hasn't eaten in days. It's making sure clean water reaches a child who would have otherwise gotten sick. It's offering kindness to someone who feels invisible, listening to someone who feels unheard, reminding someone who's struggling that they matter. The ultimate challenge isn't about being perfect. It's not about doing everything or fixing every problem all at once. It's about making a choice to step up when most people turn away, to care when it's easier not to act when you could just as easily stay comfortable and pretend none of this is happening. Think about this right now as you listen. Somewhere in the world, someone is waiting for help. They don't know who you are, and you don't know them, but that doesn't change the fact that they exist. And that also doesn't change the fact that what you do or don't do could be the difference between them making it to the next minute or becoming part of the growing number of lives lost. What if the person who needs saving isn't in some far-off country? What if they're right next to you? A friend who's too afraid to ask for help. A family member who's struggling in silence. A stranger on the street who's just waiting for someone to notice them. Every day, the opportunity to save a life is right in front of us. The problem is most people don't take it. They assume someone else will step in. They assume it's not their responsibility. They assume that because they can't help everyone, they shouldn't even try. But that's where they're wrong, because the reality is, you don't have to save everyone, you just have to save someone. So, what will you do with the next minute? Because the clock is still ticking, someone is still disappearing, and the ultimate challenge is staring you right in the face.